everyone, I'm Jay Friesen, one of the executive producers here at Dead Reckoning Digital Network. Since we're taking a week off from DRTV with Brian traveling, I thought it'd be the perfect time to share with you several exciting announcements, including 3 brand new shows. But first, we're excited to let you know about a major change with the Dead Reckoning brand. To advance our mission of being the preeminent digital entertainment brand for intelligent, non-fiction Christian conversations on culture, we have filed for official 501c3 nonprofit status, which means it'll be easier for you to support our efforts. Just go to our website, www.deadreckoningtv, click the Donate Now button, and you'll be set up and all will be well. Second, as you'll notice, we're releasing some killer new artwork along with our new content. We'll make some of this available for download on our website for desktop backgrounds and screensavers, and sometime closer to mid-year, we'll make this artwork available on shirts, hats, and other hip swag so you can rock a killer design to support your favorite show. Third, as some of you are aware, Dead Reckoning began as a fun audio podcast between me and Brian way back in the day. And we're bringing it back to life. But this time it'll be original content, not just the audio feed from DRTV, and it will include really informal conversations with people on life and beer and family and things like that. So look for that on a weekly basis soon. Finally, for the best part, allow me to introduce our new shows. Are political and cultural differences simply disagreements over facts or what works? Or is there something deeper at work? Our new monthly show, Subtext, is going to explore what lies beneath the public debates. And with probing one-on-one interviews with public intellectuals, Hadley Heath is going to bring to the surface the underlying worldviews that animate alternative cultural and political visions. We're very excited to have you on the show, Hadley, and so blessed that you've agreed to work with us. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what drives your passion to explore the subtext of these issues.
Thank you, Jay. I'm looking forward to working with you guys as well. You know, I've always been a person who is interested in public policy, but more so really in politics and our culture and the trends that sort of animate how our laws are made and how our society changes over time. So I'm fascinated by those trends and connections and looking sort of at these things from a 30,000-foot view. But as I've worked in public policy for the past 5 years or so, I've noticed that often the debates get into the weeds. They become very nitty-gritty, and they do become pragmatic about what works. But underneath the surface, there are actually very significant different values that are in tension sometimes, and that's what drives, people to come to different conclusions. But I've always been someone interested in politics, probably because my grandfather very much influenced me, and I've been working in the field for several years. But as I work in the field, I experience some frustration with those surface-level conversations, and I'm ready for a deeper conversation.
And what would you like us to walk away from knowing and understanding as we move forward into our various communities?
Well, like you, I'm a Christian, and I enjoy talking with other Christians about a variety of subjects, but usually when I meet someone new, they want to know, what is it that I do for a living? And sometimes it's kind of hard to explain what it means to work in public policy or to work for a think tank, but often people make the connection to politics, and there's almost a little bit of shame related to working in politics, as if it's all dirty business. And certainly there is some dirty business in politics, but we can, as Christians, I believe, engage in our culture, engage in our political system, and talk about some of the issues facing our country and our world in a way that is uplifting, in a way that is positive and productive, because ultimately what we have to do, I believe, is understand other people's points of view better. And to do that, we have to listen, but we also have to ask the right questions. And once we understand better what is motivating another person, we can maybe find some consensus or find a way to convince one another, maybe to even change our minds, which seems to be a rare commodity these days.
Well, this first episode sounds really exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Absolutely, me too.
Thanks for joining us, Hadley. Remember, you can check Subtext coming in a couple weeks, probably around the 1st of March, on Dead Reckoning. Footage. It's getting a little interesting around here on the network. Well, I'm joined now by Jackson Laverman of Crazy Rat fame. That short doc on YouTube about a kid who built a wearable Iron Man costume, went viral, and then had 3.2 million views, and you haven't seen it? Oh, well, anyway, I heard the director's a great guy, so I tracked Jackson down, and Jackson's here with us now. He's all grown up, and I asked him to do a console game review show called God Mode. It's going to premiere this month. Very excited about it. But you might be like, video games? What? And if you're not a gamer, if you responded like that, then I'll bet you know someone who loves them. And more than likely, lots of people you know love them. So Jackson, if so many people in the world love them, why should Christians care about this totally epic form of entertainment?
Well, Jay, God calls us to be in the world, not of it. So we're going to see things like this. Video games are massive. They're just like books and TV shows and movies. Grand Theft Auto 5, really popular game, broke 7 Guinness Book of World Records, and it's also the fastest entertainment property to gross over $1 billion.
That's impressive.
So they are huge. And so we're going to be seeing this in the culture, and we're going to have to be interacting with it sooner or later.
That totally makes sense. How's your show going to aim to help us kind of interact with these things?
God Mode's it's going to be a game review show. So I'm going to be looking at gameplay design, mechanics, controls, graphics, all that stuff you would normally see. But I'm also going to be looking at it through a Christian worldview. I'm going to be analyzing it and see what kind of cultural impact it might have.
Interesting. So a little bit more than just, okay, it's got, it's got a 0 for violence, so it's totally unchristian, or it's got a 10 for language, which means there's no language and it's totally Christian, because they've already got the rating systems. So what you're going to be looking at something a little bit deeper than just sex, violence, and drugs, right?
Jay, I'm not a fan of rating systems. I feel like they're biased in some regard, and so I'm just gonna give it to you straight. This game, it's a lot of fun, but you know what? It has violence and it has a lot of language in it. So I'm gonna give it to you straight.
Interesting.
Is it a fun game? Are you gonna enjoy it? What's the cultural impact? What kind of worldview is being preached by this game?
I like that. That sounds interesting. At least I haven't seen anything like it, so I guess we'll see if it works, right? By the way, figure out Dishonored at some point, because I want to know the worldview behind that one. I still haven't figured it out, and I'm about halfway through the game. Well, cool. I'm excited about this. God Mode premiering this month on Dead Reckoning, where Jackson will be taking a look at the highly anticipated game Evolve. So don't miss that in a couple weeks.
Hi, you guys. I'm Kayla, host of Dead Reckoning's new show, The Deadbeat. Crazy, zany, trivial, and serious, the internet top trends can be all of the above. Join me for a witty and thought-provoking romp through the attention-grabbing topics of today's social media. Abraham Kuyper said there's not a square inch of creation irrelevant to Jesus. We think that includes every square pixel. So I'm excited to present to you weekly, God willing, top trending topics that cruise by so fast you'd never even know they happened. Except for now, because I've immortalized them. Topics like BuzzFeed's 19 frustrating things today's kids will never experience, and yes, Kim Kardashian's badonkadonk. So join me, Kayla K, here on Dead Reckoning in a couple weeks for The Deadbeat. Like that.